So I'm going to be telling two stories. One is, it's a very exciting kind of story, and the other one is a very somber, dark, so sad story. But both
Yin
are
yang, okay.
realities.
Yeah.
This is existing. Right. So the first story, it's again I was in KMTR and I was again following the monkeys, and that morning, again, my field assistant, he's going to be famous. So
What's his name?
his name is John.
John, yeah.
Johnson. Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't spoken to him, but so that day again he didn't accompany me in the morning.
Okay.
But that day I started off a little late itself. I didn't go exactly at 6. I started a little late, like maybe 7:30 I left. And again I crossed, I went downhill, across the stream, I climbed up. And as I was climbing up looking for the monkeys, in search of the monkeys, I heard this shrill call, okay, like this really loud call.
Okay.
And I'm just stunned. I just stop in my tracks dead. And it's actually a sambar deer.
Okay.
Sambar deer. So these are found in the forest. And
And you heard the noise of the herd or individual
the
samba?
individual call, loud call, okay? And they usually give this call when they're threatened.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm thinking, what?
Tiger?
Yeah,
Oh, God,
all
okay.
kinds of possibilities are running in my head. I'm like, oh my God, wait, what is this?
Okay.
Is it a bear? Is it a leopard? Is it what is it? Right?
And also,
Yeah.
sorry for stopping.
No, it's okay.
Are you wearing camouflage dress cloth?
Yeah, so you don't have to necessarily wear a camouflage. Something that's light, gray, green, these colors.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing too bright. Basically,
Does camouflage works in the forest? Like,
yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
See, I'll tell you why they stress on camouflage clothes, because if you're working with birds, if you're working with bees, and these animals, you have to. So they're very sensitive to dark colors. Like birds are attracted to colored,
Bright
right?
colours.
Because they pollinate, right? Even bees are pollinators. They get attracted to colored flowers, right? So that's why we're not supposed to wear red, yellow, because they attract birds. The color
Got it,
attracts, right?
got it.
That's why
okay.
we avoid
Let's continue
those
the
colors.
story now. Yeah.
So I heard that shrill call and I just stopped. And that's when my field assistant calls me from the other side. He has just arrived. And then he's like, Madam, there's a pack of doles here
Oh, God. Okay.
and they're chasing something. Okay. And then he's like, Madam, you come this side.
Okay.
And I'm like, why would I come that side to see the doles?
Okay.
He's like, no, madam, I'm going.
He's curious.
Yeah, he's very curious. But I'm scared here.
Okay.
And I'm alone on the other side. Okay.
Oh, you're
I do
just
not
communicating.
know-
I mean,
yeah,
you can't
we're
see him.
Yeah, we're communicating over phone.
Okay.
And I do not know where the doles are. Are they on my side or are they
Oh,
on his
God,
side?
okay, this
In
is-
the middle? Because I have to cross and go the other side. Like he's on the other side. And I'm terrified, okay? My heart's all racing. And then he's like, Madam, you come this side. They're on the other side. Now he's telling me they're on the other side. So I carefully descend and I cross and I go. And then I see him. And he's running now. He's running after the doles.
Okay.
He's running after the doles, okay? And I can hear the bark. The doles are, they make barking sounds. And I can hear them running. And even my field assistant, he's running after them, okay? And I'm so scared here. And then there comes a point where I see the tail, and but they run very quickly. So I didn't get to see the doles, okay? And then I see the flesh of the Samba deer calf. It's all scattered on the floor, forest floor. The leg, the leg piece and some meat scattered. So they had just hunted a Samba deer calf, and that the Samba deer mother called out loudly. In the morning before, right? It was the call of the mother, and I mean, so that was a very thrilling moment because I'm there in the scene of crime, like the
you have
crime
seen
scene.
before this is on Animal Planet. Now you are saying this for real.
Exactly. And you can smell the flesh, like fresh smell, and Yeah, so it was very exciting. You know?
You have photographs of it?
I have the photograph of the meat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
But
Did you see the pack of dolls, by the way?
No, I didn't
you
see
just
it.
heard
But
the
they were
noise.
there. Like, they were there. We heard them run. And I think my assistant saw it.
When I go to the jungle and see pack of doll, maybe 10, 12 in number,
you
what
know,
to do
Ideally, they would not do anything. Actually,
to humans?
yeah, they wouldn't.
Mhm.
If they have been disturbed or if they haven't had food for a while, maybe then they would, I think, then they would try to scare you, try to attack you. But otherwise, on a normal, leopards, tigers, they wouldn't. Even dolls, they wouldn't, I think, try to actively attack you as long as you're not going and pestering them, as long as you're not going and disturbing them. Yeah.
Okay, what about the sad story?
Yeah, so this happened in Tenmala. So this is before starting my PhD, I was working in Tenmala for 13 months.
Tenmala is in Kerala.
Kerala, yeah, and we were actually studying the mother-infant relationships in bonnet macaques.
Okay.
So that was a year-long project, and I was part of that. So we would follow mothers. I said focal sampling, right?
Yeah.
So we would use focal sampling for 15 minutes, and we would follow the mothers and collect all behavioral data, and then we would also observe infants.
Okay.
So, but infants, since they're so fast, right?
Okay.
We couldn't collect data, on our tabs.
Okay.
So we would actually take video.
Then write it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we would decode the video, and then we would have the behavior. So we would actually have a camera with us, and we would shoot videos. So that evening, so this was by I think 4 o'clock or something. We were just finishing up. So I was collecting the video of this infant called Mimi.
Okay.
So we had given names to every individual, right? I told you. So Mimi was the infant of an individual called Maz.
Maz.
I told you
Okay.
Maz,
Yeah,
right?
Maz,
She was this woman who would
dominant,
seek attention.
yeah.
No, she was not dominant.
Okay.
She was a middle ranking individual.
Okay.
But she was someone who wanted attention of all the males. And she would do anything.
Attention.
Yeah. Attention seeker.
Seeker, sorry.
Yeah. So Mimi, so she was just 3 months or 4 months old. No, so she was born in in June or something, and this event happened in October. So June, July, August,
4
September,
months.
October. Yeah, 4 months. So still small individual. Okay, and she was, I was just taking her. I've just finished taking her video, and then. So I told you, right? So these macaques live close to humans. They're on the roads, they're on the shops, they go to human settlements. Yeah, right. And we were collecting the video. I was collecting the video on the road, by the side of the road. And this road is a state highway.
Okay.
Buses are going. These buses that they go in top speed. The road is very narrow, very narrow.
Okay. And where were you?
I was on so there is a bridge. I'm on the side of the bridge. So it's next to the road, basically. I'm on the bridge. I'm taking the video of the infant. And I just finished taking the video of the infant. And she crossed to the other side of the road.
Okay.
Right. And my another colleague, she was also just making observations. She had just finished taking video of another infant. And then she just turned and she heard the thud sound. A car hit Mimi and it just went. And even both of us heard the thud sound, and we turned. It was no more. She was no more on the road in front of us. And we were just shocked. I had just taken her video just 2 minutes, and she was, all around and playing with other infants, and the next second she's, lying dead on the road. And
you have been observing that Mimi for 4 months.
For 4 months, from the time of her birth.
Birth to.
And we see, we feel like we should not grow attachments.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, when we're collecting data, we're not growing we're not doing anything to create bias. We're doing very objectively. But we obviously grow this form of emotions, right? Because they're individuals, they have their own personalities, So Mimi was, so when...
What was a mother's reaction?
Yes, immediately she crossed the road, she collected the baby and she sat on the bridge and she's holding her. But she's dead, okay? She's just... So luckily, there was no bloodshed. The impact hit.
Shock.
Yeah, the impact, I think the head and the impact, because of the impact, she died. So Mars is just carrying her and just sitting, and then everyone else is just like, you can sense the tension. Everyone in the group is like, okay, they're all coming close to her, they're all sniffing her. It's a very somber.
Was there a consoling environment?
Yeah, and then we couldn't stay for long. We couldn't. And
What?
no, in the sense we couldn't,
Yeah, you couldn't.
And it
okay.
was, we had finished data collection, and my PI, she's like, let's not stay for too long. Let's go, because let's not do any more data collection also. Let's stop. Let's go back. But we stayed there for like some time just to observe how Mars was holding on to Mimi, hoping for her to come back, to life.
Wow. Hoping.
Yeah. And she's just there holding. So we went back. It was a very sad day. And my colleague actually came back in the evening, not just to visit. And Mars didn't have Mimi that time. She might have just dropped her somewhere because she's not moving. Right?
What do they do? Like bury or something?
No, they would just have to leave them. So there are many stories like this. So during my 13 months, we saw many infants die through electrocution, through roadkill, some losing their limbs. So I saw many individuals. A very sad thing. So we would go to forest department. We would talk to forest department, like, do something about this. We had even worked with the forest department to raise awareness with the local community, to even, and so a lot of issues. Again, I told you, it's a very complex issue.
Yeah.
So people are feeding monkeys. So Tenmala is the first ecotourism site in India.
Okay.
So a lot of tourists come. There's a dam there. People, go to the top of the dam. They come. So it's an ecotourist site, right? A lot of people come, and then monkeys are there. So they feed them. And we are here. We're collecting data, and then we're telling people, don't feed them. Don't feed them, because the more you feed them, the more they'll just be surrounded near the roads, and then more individuals will die, because vehicles were not. It's a state highway, and they're going in such high speeds. People are not considerate, and
and it's very difficult to educate people. Also,
yes, it's very difficult. Oh my God, we have dealt with some really. I don't want to use bad words, but
Okay.
I've dealt with some really difficult people. They're telling me,
No, you can use. We can beep it out in the podcast.
no, some people they think that they know everything. Okay, we're explaining very calmly, sir, please don't feed them. Like, no, it is my right to feed them. I can feed them. I can do anything I want. And we're getting frustrated. So I am dealing with all kinds of
Don't you
people.
show your degree? I'm a primatologist.
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't work.
It doesn't work with these people, and we're trying to explain to
There are
them.
different breed of primates
Yes.
too. Just kidding.
Exactly, and I know that's the thing. When I'm observing primates, the more and more it realizes that it's so difficult to work with humans because they're so less sensible, and primates are they have such understanding. I don't know, conflict resolution. They do all kinds of things, and humans is just so difficult. So yeah.